Hi, everyone. Good morning. Welcome. You need 2 blocks and a strap for today's class. I'm going to fix my mat. We don't need this stuff. Two blocks, one strap. Bring it down a little bit more. Hi, Jill. Good morning. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started. So just come over to your mat and have one block on the lowest setting or whichever setting you need, and just take a seat. Find a comfortable seat here and let the hands rest on the lap. Let the eyes close. Yeah, and just take stock of that first inhale. Allow yourself to settle in. I just realized. Feel the weight of your hips sinking down onto the block. Feel the length of the sides of the body. Feel the crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. And just know that the next 60 minutes is for you to tune into your own breath, your own internal space. Time to check in with you. Let the eyes open, come up off your block. Place both blocks at the front of the mat, and then just extend the legs long in front of you. Lean back on the hands. Come to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet press. Hands come behind you. Just lift up the hips for a moment and turn the knees side to side. And then lower the seat down. Cross one shin in front of the other. Take the hands to the side. You can close your eyes for this if you need. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder, really gently here. And then just turn the nose slightly down towards the floor. And then turn the nose back up, ear comes to shoulder, and then lift the head back to neutral. And then take the left ear to the left shoulder. And then turn the nose down towards the floor. Yeah, keep tenting the fingers. Arms are kind of reaching away from you. And then turn the nose back up so that the ear is right on top of the shoulder, and then lift the head up. Take the hands behind you, lean back and put the other shin in front, and then take the hands back to where they were. Really reaching the fingertips towards the floor, kind of tenting the hand there. Good, and then take the chin towards the chest. And then from here, begin to draw the nose towards the right. Slowly come back to center. Keep the chin fallen, or like the chin tucked here. And then draw the nose towards the right. Stay with your breath. And then draw the nose back to center. Slowly lift the head back to neutral. And then from here, lift the chin up just slightly. Allow that to float the chest. And bring the chin back to neutral. Take the hands by the sides and extend the legs long. Hug the right knee into the chest. And then lean onto your left hand and take the right leg to half virasana. So the top of the foot comes down outside the right hip. And then lean back to the left to undo this. Step down onto the foot and then release the right leg. Hug the left knee into the chest. Right hand comes to the right. Lean all the way to the right to come into half virasana with the left leg. Sink back down onto the left hip, any amount that's available. And then lean back to the right. Unwind. Step the left foot down first and then extend the leg long. Let's do it one more time on either side. Hug the right knee in. Lean to the left. Find half virasana. Lean back to the right. Keep that left foot flexed. And then lean back to the left. Step the right foot down and extend the leg. One more time on the last side. Left knee comes into the chest. Lean to the right. Half virasana. You can sink back to the left any amount and then sink back to the right. It's a rocking here. Step onto the left foot and extend the leg long. From here, bend the knees a little bit. Catch behind the knees and roll yourself onto your back. Good. From here, keep the soles of the feet on the mat. And then take the left leg up towards the ceiling. Hands can just stay down on this by your sides. And then press the heel up towards the ceiling. Any amount. If the leg's a little bit lower, that's fine too. And then bend the knee, cross the left ankle over the right knee. Just let the left knee fall forward a little bit, as much as is available. There's no need to use any muscular force here, just letting it naturally fall as it will. And then let both knees fall to the left. Take the arms overhead, catch opposite elbows. And you can look to the right if it's okay for the neck. Stay with the breath. And then come back to center. Extend your left leg up towards the ceiling and return the foot to the mat. Reach the right leg long. Heel presses towards the ceiling. And then cross the ankle over the knee. Let the right knee just fall away from you. Go ahead here and take opposite elbows. So switch the grip of the forearms, but you can just keep them overhead. Good, and then let both knees fall over to the right. The gaze can come to the left, or you can just keep the gaze straight up towards the ceiling. Allow the left knee to fall all the way towards the mat. Just notice how that left leg internally rotates. You should feel a nice long openness on the left side of the body. And then come back to center. Right leg reaches up, and then both feet come to the mat. Roll the knees to the left side and come to sit up. Find Baddha Konasana again, soles of the feet press. Once again, take the hands behind you, pick up the hips and move them slightly closer towards the heels. Keep them lifted for a moment and find that movement back and forth between the knees a little bit, just letting the low back find some space. And then put the hips down, once again, a little bit closer to the heels. Let the elbows bend for a moment. And then press the outer edges of the feet down to scoop the knees towards center. Keep pressing through the hands and then walk the hands forward for yogi squat. Hands come forward, inner edges of the feet touch. Heels sink down towards the floor, knees go wide. Let the head fall heavy. Let yourself breathe. Notice the breath. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders. Lift the hips and step to downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the feet a few times here. Shake the head. No. Good, and then find some stillness. From here, bring your right knee to the mat, right underneath the right hip, and turn to the inner edge of the left foot. Reach your left arm up. Breathe in. Breathe out, flip the hand and drape the arm behind the back, and then lean back into this till gaze comes up, and fill the lungs with breath. And then reach the left arm up. Take the left hand to the mat. Tuck your left toes. Down dog split. Right leg sweeps up and back. Breathe out. Bring the right knee forward between the hands. And then sit right on the heel. So this front leg, it's kind of like a pigeon, but it's parallel. And then reach the left leg long behind you. Make sure that the joints are lined up. Stay up on the fingertips here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Sink onto the right hip. Swing the left leg around and find Sukhasana. Simple cross-legged, left shin is in front. Find a little bit of activation in the feet. So nothing, you don't have to crazy flex them, but the feet are slightly active here. Then breathe in, reach the arms up. Breathe out, twist to your right. Right hand comes behind you. Make the elbows wide. No need to force this twist at all. Stay a little gentle with it. Good, and then from here, right hand reaches all the way up and over and crosses over the left arm and reaches for the left knee. From here, bend the elbows, press the backs of the hands, or double bind, press the palms for eagle wrapped arms. And then breathe in, reach the elbows away, and then breathe out, reach the elbows slightly down. You'll feel this in the upper back and an extension of the work we did with the neck at the beginning of the class. And then unwind the arms, take the arms to the sides. Interlace the fingers behind you, take the heels of the hands wide, and then reach the knuckles down towards the floor. Allow that to externally rotate the upper arm bones. The sternum floats, the chin lifts with it. Breathe in. Breathe out, release the hands. Lean onto the right side, swing the left leg behind you, find pigeon pose. We'll stay lifted here, so tent the fingertips. And then tuck your back toes, lift your back knee, and step to downward facing dog. From here, bring your left knee to the mat underneath the left hip. Spin to the inner edge of your right foot. Right arm reaches up. And then flip the hand and drape the arm behind the back. Lean back into this a little bit here. Gaze goes up. Find space for the right side of the body. Good, and then reach the right arm up. Right hand comes to the mat. Tuck your right toes. Down dog split. Left leg sweeps up and back behind you. Breathe out. Bring the left knee to the mat right between the hands. And then you kind of sit on the heel. So the heel, you'll feel the heel on the back side of your thigh. Then the right leg just reaches really long. Tent the hands. Come to the fingertips. Sink onto your left leg. Swing the right leg around. Cross right shin in front of left. Sukhasana. Easy sitting pose. Arms reach up. And then exhale, turn to the left. Easy twist. Elbows go wide. Gaze can come back behind you if it's available. Yeah, make sure you're just sitting up tall here. And then the left arm's going to reach all the way up and over and reach for your right knee. So the arms are crossed, left arm on top. Bend the elbows, press the backs of the hands, or if you could double bind, press the palms. On your breath in, reach the elbows just slightly away. On the breath out, just reach them barely down. You'll feel the opening in the upper back and kind of all the way up the neck a little bit. Unwind the arms, take the hands to the sides, and then interlace the hands behind you. Find the opposite or the non-habitual grip. Take the heels of the hands wide and then reach the knuckles down towards the floor. Externally rotate upper arm bones. Allow that to let the sternum lift, chin lifts. And release, come back to neutral. Right leg swings all the way back behind you. Find a pigeon pose on the left side. So this left knee goes a little bit wider now. Hips sink down towards the mat. Stay lifted on the fingertips, or you can press the palms all the way down to the mat. Good, and then tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, and step to downward facing dog. From here, roll to plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way to the belly. Untuck the toes, breathe in, lift the head and the chest. Elbows pull back. Exhale, forehead comes to the mat. Take the seat to the heels. And find downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out the feet. And then begin to walk the feet towards the front of the mat. Just taking little steps. all the way to the front. When you get to the top, take a half lift. On your exhale, interlace the hands behind you, fold over the legs, and let the arms reach up and overhead. Let the head fall heavy. The feet are slightly apart here, about hip width distance. And then you can shake the head no or yes. Take the hands towards the low back. Breathe in, hands come back to shins. Look forward. Exhale, reach the hands behind you. Interlace the opposite grip. So you might have to do the regular one and then switch. Keep the bend in the knees as you fold over the legs. Hands reach up and over. Heels of the hands go wide. One more time here. Shake the head no. And yes. And then hands come towards the low back. Find that half lift again. Hands come to shins. Exhale, hands come to the waist. Heavy the tailbone. Come up to stand. And then heel toe the feet together. Arms come by the sides. Find Tadasana, mountain pose for a moment. Feel the stability in the legs and the feet. And then from that stability, feel the upper body get a little bit lighter, almost as if the hands will float to the space between, or the space in front of the heart or the heart center by themselves. So press the hands, let the eyes close or the eyelids get heavy, and choose a dedication for your class or for your practice today. Try to choose something that's bigger than yourself and your, specific daily world. Can you choose something, or can you consider this idea of finding a slightly larger or more expansive connection with the world around you? This interesting juxtaposition of spending time essentially alone on our mats as a way to connect with something larger. At first glance, it might seem like total opposites. Like, how can I reach the bigger world? How can I connect with, collective humanity or the larger sphere of a collective soul or spirit when I'm just alone doing my practice? But going inward is kind of the path, right? That's the way that we can find these connections, by connecting deeper with ourselves. Take the hands by the sides, let the eyes open. Heel toe the feet so that the inner edges of the feet are touching. And then bend the knees, reach the arms up for chair pose. Exhale, fold over the legs, let the head fall heavy. Inhale, half lift, look forward. Exhale, plant the hand, just step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, roll to plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees, arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Untuck the toes, press through the shins, slide forward to cobra pose, head and chest lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. Seat comes to the heels and then lift the hips. Let the head fall heavy. Breathe in, reach your right leg up and back. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands. Spin your back heel down. Arms reach to the sides and up, warrior one. Hands touch overhead, wiggle the sides of the waist long, and then sink a little bit more into the front hip. Good. From here, pull the hands through center. Reach the torso forward a little bit. Feel your back heel flip up, almost like a warrior three, but you're not going to ever really get there. Come to the front of the mat. Left foot steps forward next to the right. As the left foot steps down, hug your right knee into your chest. Open the knee to the side and set up for tree pose. Press the foot into the inner leg. And then gather the hands in front of your heart. Make sure your left leg is pushing back against your right foot. Big toe mound of your left foot is pressing down. Once you find a steady gaze with your eyes, you can reach the arms up and overhead. Reach them straight up by the ears. Almost like the fingertips were antennas. But not like the bunny rabbit ones on old TVs, but going straight up. As if you were to shine like two flashlights straight into the sky. Keep reaching the fingertips. Good, and then take the hands to the waist. Carry the right knee forward, extend the leg long in front of you, then step the foot down. From here, chair pose, sit hips low, arms reach up. Come halfway up, lift the left knee too, hook left ankle over the right knee, and sit the hips low for figure four. Hands come to touch in front of the heart. Maybe you lean a little bit forward and hook the elbows over the shin. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more cycle here. And then lift up just enough that you can slide the left ankle off and reach the foot all the way back, hands to the mat, low lunge. On the next inhale, straighten your right leg any amount. Hop in your back foot enough so you can ground the back heel down. Half lift here, so wiggle the sides of the waist. Line up your sternum with the front leg and fold forward. If the hands don't reach the floor or that feels like a big strain, bring blocks underneath the hands and let that head fall heavy. Inhale, look forward and soften your front knee. Hands come to the mat and step to downward facing dog. Breathe in, roll to plank pose. Breathe out, lower the knees, arch the back, lower the chest and the chin. Untuck the toes, press the shins, slide forward to cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands, back heel spins down. Arms reach to the sides and up. Press hands, warrior one. Look up at the thumbs and then let the front knee bend a little bit more. Let that left hip sink down as you press into the outer edge of the back foot. Good, and then slide the hands or pull the hands through heart center so the thumbs rest on the sternum. Torso reaches forward, feel your back heel lift up, and then almost like a warrior three, but it's like not really happening. Step the right foot down in front next to the left foot. Hug the left foot into the chest, open the knee to the side for tree pose, set up, engage your right leg as you make contact with the left foot. Gather the hands in front of the heart. Find a non-moving spot for your gaze, and then reach the arms up and overhead. Almost feel like you could almost do a little bit of like apple picking here, reaching one hand and then the other, wiggling the sides of the waist long. Lengthening out the space between the armpits and the hip points. Keep pressing down through the right big toe. Hands come to the waist. Carry the left knee forward. Extend the leg long and then step the foot down. Sit hips low, chair pose. Arms reach up. And then come up halfway. Pick up your right knee. Cross right ankle over the left knee. Keep that right foot flexed and sit the hips even lower. Hands come to press in front of your heart center. Stay here. Maybe you lean a little bit more forward and hook the elbows over the knee. Stay with your breath. If this is hard to balance, you've got your 2 blocks here on the highest setting I would recommend, and you can set up that way as well. And then lift up just enough to unhook the right ankle, reach the right foot all the way back behind you, hands to mat, low lunge with the left foot in front. Just pause here for a moment. On your next inhale, naturally let the left leg straighten out. Hop in your back foot just enough to spin that back heel down. And then grow from the press of the outer edge of your back foot. Let that extend the sternum and the sides of the waist long and forward. And then fold over the leg. Hands can come to blocks here if the hands don't reach the floor. Press into the hands a little bit. See if you can almost feel like you're making that left leg even longer. Look forward and soften your front knee, and then step to downward facing dog. From here, roll to plank pose, look forward. Breathe out, lower all the way to your belly. Tee the arms so the hands reach out from the body, right in line with the shoulders. Forehead comes to the mat. From here, bend your left elbow, tent the hand so the finger pads are pressing down into the floor. And then turn yourself over onto your right side. This right arm is going to be reaching directly behind you almost as if it was at like 3 o'clock. Gently let the right side of the face or the head fall to the mat. And then you can stay here. Walk this left hand in so you've got more support right in front of the torso. Stay here or float your top leg, bend the knee and tap the toe behind you. Let the knee just fall back. If this is too much on the pec or the shoulder, if the hand is at 3 o'clock now, take it to 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or 6 o'clock, closer to the body. That'll de-intensify the stretch. And then stack the legs once again and roll yourself slowly onto your belly. Extend your left arm straight out from the shoulder. Bend your right elbow, tent the right hand, turn onto the left side of the body, stack the feet and the legs. Gently let the left side of the face fall towards the mat. And then you have an option here to float your top leg, bend the knee and tap the toe behind you. Make sure this right hand walked closer to the torso so you've got nice support here. And then if this left arm is at 9 o'clock, if this is too intense, you can take it to 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, or 6 o'clock. You're going to take it down towards the body. And then stack your left or your right leg on top of your left. Roll onto your belly. Tee the arms for a moment. Yeah, forehead comes to the mat. Just bring the arms in. Hands come underneath the armpits. Lift the head and the chest like a baby cobra. And then slide the forearms forward for Sphinx pose. Elbows sit right underneath the shoulders. From here, your left hand's going to come over towards your right at a diagonal. Bend your right knee, bring the heel towards the right seat, and then turn your gaze and your chest. You're kind of going to lean over onto the left side, turn to the right, reach your right hand back and catch the inner edge of the right foot. Pull the heel closer to the outer edge of the hip, and then maybe the hand swivels, the fingertips will swivel forward towards the front of the mat, elbow will reach up, and then turn the chest back towards the front. This is too much crunching on the low back. Just slide this left forearm forward. But try not to crunch into the left shoulder. We don't want to sink into the left shoulder. If you're here, definitely move the forearm forward. Wherever you are, there's a little bit of pressure through this left forearm to keep the chest lifted, to avoid crunching in the shoulders and into the neck. And then to release, look back to your right, and then let the foot go and come back to center. Find Sphinx pose. Parallel the forearms for a moment. Come back to center. And then the right forearm comes towards the left hand, so you've got a diagonal at the front. Bring the left heel in towards the seat. Turn the torso and the head to the left. Reach left hand back, catch the inner edge of the foot. And then pull the heel down towards the outer edge of the hip. Hand will come flat almost. You can almost make like a star hand. And then swivel the hand on top of the foot. Fingertips face forward. Elbow points up. Turn the chest back forward. Press through the forearm of the right arm. Again, same thing. Same adjustment on this side. If it's too much in the low back, slide the forearm forward, but don't allow yourself to sink into this right shoulder and be lazy in the chest. And then to release, turn yourself back to the left, release the foot, and make a little pillow with your hands. Come back to center, forehead comes to the pillow. Relax the legs, let the heels splay out for a moment. And then reach your right arm forward in front of you. Yeah, you're reaching it above the head. And then allow that to turn yourself over onto your back. Go ahead and bring the soles of the feet to the mat to start. Good, and then lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Interlace the hands behind the leg. Press the heel up towards the ceiling. And then this time, extend your right leg long for a moment. So here, if the hands don't interlace behind the leg, you could use a towel or your strap to give yourself a little bit more space. So feel free to do that here. And then bend the right knee once again. Cross the left ankle over the right shin. Let the left knee fall down towards the floor. This time we're going to pull the right knee into the chest. Reach and interlace the hands on top of the shin or behind the hamstring. or behind the thigh bone at the hamstring more specifically. And keep this left foot flexed and you can rock side to side. From here, release the hands, keep the crossing of the leg, and then you're just going to slide your left foot more towards the right and close the gap between the thighs. So you've got the legs crossed with the left leg on top, and then you can either take a double bind for eagle wrapped legs or just press. You want to squeeze the feet towards one another, towards the center line. So left leg is on top, left arm goes on bottom, backs of the hands press or hands press. And then reach the fingertips up and over the head. And then take the elbows to the knees, lift the head and the chest. Release this. Unwind the arms, unwind the legs, and hug the right knee into the chest. The left leg goes long. And then carry the right knee across the body. Tee the arms, a supine twist. The gaze will go towards the right. You have an option here to bend the left knee and catch the foot with the right hand behind you. Stay with your breath. And then from here, release the left foot. Tee the arms once again and roll onto your back. Right foot steps down. Left foot steps down. From here, take the elbows to the mat so the fingertips face up towards, or the fingertips are up towards the ceiling, almost like robot arms or kind of like T-Rex arms. Press down through the feet. Just lift the hips up barely here. So not a lot, not like a big back bend or anything. And then just swivel the hips side to side. Good. Slowly lower the hips back down. This time, reach the right heel up towards the ceiling. Interlace opposite grip behind the thigh or where the hamstring is, and extend the left leg long. Feel the left heel pressing forward and away from you. Feel the right heel pressing up towards the ceiling. And then still allow the collarbones to be broad here. So if you feel like you're crunching in the arms, or you're really having to reach for the leg, use the towel or the strap. And then bend the left knee, place the foot on the mat, bend your right knee and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Flex the right foot and just let the knee fall naturally first, away from you. Maybe it doesn't fall at all. And then bring the left knee in towards the chest. Reach through the center hole and the outside edge of your left leg and interlace the fingers opposite grip or non-habitual grip, either on the shin or behind the thigh bone. Keep that right foot flexed, then you can rock side to side. Unclench the jaw here, soften the eyes. From here, release the hands and then just slide the right foot towards the left and close the gap between the thighs. And then reach the feet towards one another. You can stay here or you can double wrap and that right foot will come behind the left calf. Right arm on top, right leg on top, right arm on bottom. Eagle wrap the arms, backs of the hands press or palms press. And then reach the fingertips up and over the head. And then take the elbows to the knees, curl up, lift the head and the chest. Release everything down. Unwind the arms, unwind the legs. This time, left knee hugs in, right leg goes long. And take the left knee across the body. Arms go wide in a nice big T here. The gaze can turn to the left. And then you have an option here to bend the right knee and catch the foot with the left arm behind you. Keep reaching this left knee towards the mat or the floor. Release your right leg, left arm reaches out to the side, and then just roll back onto your back. Left knee hugs in, step the left foot down, step your right foot down. And then once again, take the elbows to the mat, fingertips point up towards the ceiling. Lift the hips, again, not a back bend, maybe an inch higher than you did last time. And just wiggle the hips side to side. Release. Good, and then slowly lower the hips back down. Let the knees fall to the left side. Come through hands and knees. Find a plank pose. And find downward facing dog. From here, bring your right knee to the mat. Spin to the inner edge of your left foot. Inhale, left arm reaches up. This time, lift your left leg. Bend the knee and catch the foot behind you if it's available. Woo. Sometimes you have to move this right arm forward a little bit. Because as you reach for that back foot, you come a little bit more forward on the knee. And then once you have the foot, kick the foot into the hand. Let the gaze go up towards the ceiling. Stay with your breath, even if it feels hard to balance here. Allow yourself to fall out of it if you need to. Release the foot, expand the arm or extend the arm and the hand, or the arm and the leg. Left hand comes down to the mat, tuck your left toes. Inhale, down dog split, right leg lifts up and back. Exhale, bend the knee, open the hip. From here, straighten the leg, square the hip, and then step the foot forward between the hands. This time, drop your left knee down, untuck the toes. Let the torso just fall on top of the right thigh bone for a moment here. Let the head fall heavy. And then tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Breathe in, step your left foot forward next to your right, half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, sit hips low, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, lift up, pick up your right knee, and then cross the right leg over the left. Eagle wrap the legs just like we did on our backs. Right arm wraps underneath the left. Press the backs of the hands or the palms. Find a non-moving spot for your gaze. Lift the elbows for a moment and then begin to fold forward, hooking the elbows outside the knees. Eagle pose. Garudasana. Yeah, everything pulls in towards the midline. And then lift up just slightly, enough to uncross the right leg. Right foot steps down, unwind the arms. Right hand comes to the block. Find half moon pose. Everything expands away from the midline. So finding the two kind of opposites here. And then the gaze can come to the side, or you can take the gaze up towards the fingertips. Breathe in and soften your right knee. Breathe out, slide back, warrior two. Breathe in, reverse triangle, straighten right leg, right arm reaches up. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Breathe in, step to plank pose. Breathe out, look forward, lower halfway for chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your right knee to the mat, spin to the inner edge of your right foot. Right arm reaches up. And then float your back or your right leg up. Bend the knee and catch the foot behind the back. Kick the foot into the hand. Allow this to open the chest. Look up. Only look up if it's available. You can look to the side or even down will help you balance if you're feeling really shaky here today. Release the foot in the hand. Extend the leg and the arm. And then right hand comes down. Tuck your right toes. Down dog split. Left leg sweeps up and back. Breathe out, bend the knee, open the hip. Good, and then straighten out the leg and step the foot forward between the hands. Drop your right knee down. You can untuck the toes. And then just let the torso fall on top of the left thigh. Let the head fall heavy. Tuck your right toes, lift your back knee. Step the right foot forward next to the left. Take a half lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. From here, sit hips low, arms reach up, chair pose. Exhale, stay here. And then lift up on the inhale, pick up your right knee. Exhale, bend the right knee a lot as you cross the left leg over for eagle wrap legs. Left arm wraps underneath the right, backs of the hands press or hands press. Find your non-moving spot. Everything pulls towards the midline. Breathe in and lift the elbows a bit. Breathe out, fold, and hook the elbows outside the knees. Stay with your breath. Keep pulling everything towards the midline. Good, and then lift up just enough so you can unwind. Step the left foot down. Left hand to the block on the highest setting. Extend everything for half moon pose. So the right leg floats up, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Play with the gaze to test your balance to the side or maybe up. Good, and then soften your left knee, float back to warrior two. Breathe in, straighten left leg, left arm reaches up, reverse triangle. Exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat, low lunge. Breathe in for plank pose. Breathe out, look forward and lower halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in, right leg lifts. Breathe out, step the foot forward between the hands, back knee taps down, untuck the toes. From here, right hand comes inside the right foot, heel to the right foot a little bit more to the right, and let the toes turn out. Let the knee track over the toes. So the whole thigh bone just kind of falls a little bit more out of the hip socket. Good, and then press the left hand down. Right arm reaches up. From here, bend the left knee, bring the heel towards the seat. Right hand reaches back, catch the outer edge of the foot, and pull the heel in towards the seat. Sometimes you have to scoot that left knee back a little bit so that when you bend the knee, you're on top of the thigh bone rather than the knee. And then let yourself lean back into this a little bit. And then release the foot, hands come back to the mat. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee. Down dog split, right leg sweeps up and back. Breathe out, bend the knee, open the hip. Good, and then straighten the leg. Step the foot forward between the hands and spin your back heel down and then scoot it up a little bit so you have a shorter stance. Right hand comes to the block in front. Come up to half moon pose. So you're standing on the right leg lifts up, left arm reaches up as well. So find the expansiveness first, and then either stay here, bend your left knee, and catch the foot behind the back. Kick the foot into the hand. So this is Ardha Chandrasana Chapasana variation. Gently release the foot, come back to half moon, soften your front knee, slide back to triangle pose, pick up your block and bring it with you, place it outside the back ankle, straighten your right leg, right arm reaches up, just arrive here for a moment. Press into the back foot, lift up, reverse triangle. And exhale, cartwheel the hands to the mat. Let's take it to down dog this time. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step the foot forward between the hands, right knee taps down, untuck the toes. Left hand comes inside the left foot, heel to the left foot to the left, turn the toes out slightly and let the knee follow or track over the toes. Press down through the right hand, left hand reaches up, take a twist, and then pull the heel towards the seat, catch the outer edge of the foot. Pull, we want the release in the front of the right leg here. So lean back as you pull the heel in towards the seat. Release the foot, left hand comes back to the mat. Tuck left toes, lift the left knee. Down dog split, right or left leg sweeps up and back. Breathe out, bend the knee, open the hip. And then straighten out the leg, step the foot forward once again and spin your back heel down, but scoot it up so you got a shorter stance. Left hand reaches forward for your block. And then weight comes into the left foot, float your right leg up, half moon pose. Right arm reaches up as well. Or if you're feeling really unsteady here, take the right hand to the right waist. Stay here or bend your right knee and catch the foot behind the back. Once you have the foot, kick the foot into the hand for the Chapasana variation. Make sure those left toes are turned straight forward. If they start to turn in, just release and back up a little bit. Release the foot, come back to half moon. Soften your left knee and slide to triangle pose. The back heel presses down. This block with the hand comes right outside the left ankle. Straighten through the left leg, just find triangle, arrive. Press into the back foot, lift yourself up. Reverse triangle. Now, lots of beautiful space on the left side. And then cartwheel the hands to the mat. Step to plank pose. Lower the knees to the mat, take the heels wide. Take the fingertips to the back crease of the knees. Pull your calf muscles straight back and then sit back between the heels for Virasana. If you have any pain or strain in the knees, go ahead and sit on a block for this. If you're sitting between the heels, take your right hand to the right kneecap, lift the leg up and pull the skin up and over the knee. And then do the same for the left. And then see how the thighs are internally rotating. Hands come to the knees and sit tall in Virasana for a moment. Again, totally fine if you're sitting on a block here. Hands come outside the ankles, lift up. Hands come forward, tuck the toes, clear the backs of the legs. Woo! And then look forward, lower all the way to your belly. Forehead to the mat, hands come back by the side. Pinky fingers are closest to you, so the palms face down. Breathe in, lift the head, the chest, lift the feet, press the hands down to the mat to start. Feel the upper arm bones externally rotate. Let the sternum float. And then maybe you lift the hands. Keep reaching the toes behind you. Keep reaching the head forward. And slowly lower. Forehead comes to the mat. Let the legs relax for a moment. And then bend the knees. Touch the outer edges of the feet with the hands. Just stay here for a cycle of breath. On your next inhale, lift the head, the chest, kick the feet into the hands. You're on your belly in the bottom two ribs. Let the sternum shine forward. Let the chin lift. Kick the feet into the hands. Knees pull towards one another. Find that slight internal rotation of the thigh bones while you let the tailbone heavy or reach back towards the knees. And slowly lower all the way to the mat. Relax the legs for a moment. And then reach your left arm forward. Roll to your left side. Bring your blocks so that they're kind of halfway down the mat. And roll onto your back. Soles of the feet press. And take the arms long for a moment and just feel the fingertips on the backs of the heels here. And then take a block. Press through the feet to lift the hips up. Put the block on the medium setting underneath your sacrum. Reach your right leg up. And then cross the knee or the ankle over the left knee. Let the right knee fall open for a moment. Good, and then reach the right foot up towards the ceiling again. Hug the knee into the chest. And then catch the outer edge of the ankle and come to half Virasana. So the top of the right foot comes to rest outside the right side of the block. And then that right knee will be, up off the mat a bit here. The arms can come by the sides, or you could take them to the belly if that feels better. And then breathe. And then right hand comes to the outer right ankle again. Release this. Keep the crease in the leg as you lift the knee all the way up. From here, take the right hand from the ankle to the kneecap. Let the knee fall open to the side. Catch the left edge of your mat with your left hand and begin to slide this left heel straight forward. Let this right knee fall over to the right. And then slide the left heel back, bring the right knee center, and release the right foot down. Lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Kind of press down a little bit through that right foot. And then bend the left knee, cross the ankle over the right knee. Let's let the knee fall to the side for a moment. And then lift the knee back up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee enough so that the heel comes right towards the seat. Nice solid crease in the leg, and then come to half Virasana with the left leg. So the top of the left foot rests out on the left side of the block. The knee falls forward towards the floor, but it's still hanging in the air. So the arms can come by the sides. Try to relax the upper body. Notice what's happening in the front of the left leg. left hand comes to left ankle. This knee starts from the bottom and then half circles all the way up, almost like a rainbow. And then the left hand comes to the top of the left knee. Let this knee fall to the side a little bit. And then right hand catches the right edge of the mat. Hold on to it here and slide this right heel forward. Really let the left knee fall over to the left. So you've got the mat with the right hand to counter that. And then slide the right foot back. Take the left foot to the mat. And lift the hips up. Slide the block to the lower setting. Lift the hips up again and bring the sacrum all the way to the mat. Heel toe the feet wide. Let the knees knock in on one another. Take one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Let the eyes close. Take a moment here to come back to your dedication. And then heel toe the feet in a little bit and bring the knees, catch the kneecaps with the palms of the hands and let the knees fall away. Bring the feet back down to the mat. Let the knees fall to the left side. Go ahead and sit yourself up onto a block with the legs crossed. Take the non-habitual shin in front. Just a few moments here of seated meditation. So feel yourself sitting up nice and tall. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling. Take the hands to the low ribs. And just notice your breath. So you're not restricting, you're just noticing with the hands how the body breathes. Notice one more cycle. And then just release the hands. Let the palms rest up and the fingers will just be relaxed. See if you can mentally keep your hands on the low ribs. Can you focus your mind's attention on the breath, on the expansion and deflation of the lungs of the rib cage? Feel the hands on the lap. Let the eyes open gently. Lift yourself up off the block and extend the legs long. Catch yourself behind the knees and come to lay down on your back. Let the knees fall wide. Feel the soles of the feet touching and then just slide the feet super long. So it's not a Baddha Konasana. It's like a super long diamond shape in the legs. The heels move super far away from you. And then take the hands overhead. Let the right hand rest in the left. And notice Starting from the hands, notice which parts of the body are in this center line. And then put the opposite hand on top, so the right hand holds the left hand. Press into the outer edges of the feet to scoop the knees towards one another, and then slide the heels even further away so that the legs become long. Windshield wiper the feet just a few times, and then let the feet splay out. And then allow the strength of the right hand to lift the left hand up and over. Bring the hands to the low belly for a moment. And then release the hands. Just let them fall open to the sides. Try to take that same quality of the hands just flopping open to the sides. Take that quality to the jaw. Let the bottom half of the jaw just hang slack. Even if the lips hang open, that's okay. Feel the whole body get heavy for this Shavasana. Without changing it, bring your attention back to your breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. And then bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet to the mat. Let yourself roll to your left side. Use the arms as pillows here. And then press through the left hand to lift yourself up to a seat. Just find a comfortable seat that works for you. Keep your eyes closed if you can. Hands rest on the lap. Feel the sides of the waist. See if you can take your mental focus back to that space of the low ribs. We spend so much time thinking we don't have the power to change the world. We forget that the power to change someone's life is always in our hands. We all have the power to relieve someone's pain with our embrace and lessen someone's suffering with our kindness. Change making does not belong to one group of people. Change making belongs to all of us. Gather the hands in front of your heart center and just take one more moment to notice how you feel. Put a little tuck in the chin and take the thumbs to the third eye or the space between the eyebrows as a way to seal your practice. Namaste. Thanks everyone for joining today. Next class will be on Tuesday.
at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll have this class next week as well. One thing I'm sharing is that I think I'm going to add some classes to the schedule for July, but I'm looking to the people who come often to tell me what more that you might want or what times work for you. So send me an email or a DM on Instagram to let me know. Otherwise, this is a donation-based class, and I recommend or suggest a minimum $10 donation. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Don't hesitate to reach out with questions. Hi, Mom. Thanks, Jill. See you guys soon.